friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into 3 months of makeup empties, and boy are there a lot of things that I have finished off in the makeup category, which I find super exciting. So we can go ahead and dive in. We'll start with what I'd like to consider my largest category, and that is mascaras. I have a lot of mascaras to chat with you about, so let's go ahead and get into it. So I've got 2 primers, both of which come from Sephora. They're the Lash Craft Lash Primer. This has become my new sort of holy grail lash primer. What I like about this is it's a really good thickening lash product. I personally am fortunate that I have longer lashes, but I don't have super thick lashes. And I like kind of a clumpy lash effect. I think it just makes my eyes pop a bit more. It gives more volume to them, especially because I do not apply mascara to my bottom lashes. I have very long and thin lower lashes, so it just kind of looks creepy in my opinion when I put mascara down there. So I do like this for that purpose. I feel like though, I'm a little bit sad and concerned. This is being discounted at Sephora. I think right now it's on sale for $5. Normally it's $12, which I think is very reasonable. So I'm worried that they're clearancing it out to get rid of it, which will be sad. Hopefully they bring something else to the table to replace this, but I did purchase a bunch of them so that they would last me. I have tried other alternatives. Like I used to love the one from Milani called the Violet one. That was just a little bit more finicky than this was. It had a bit more wand maintenance than I preferred, but this stuff is good and I do recommend it. I also have a brown mascara. I used to only wear brown mascara and brown eyeliner, but I have just come to appreciate and enjoy the starker contrast of black. But I did finally finish off my Maybelline Total Temptation Deep Cocoa Intense Mascara. I have to say, I think I do like a Maybelline mascara. This wand was a nice wand. The color of it, I will say though, leaned a little bit more red brown than I prefer. I prefer more of a true chocolate brown color, which is very hard to find as a felt tip liner and as a mascara. So color wise, it was just so-so, but I think I'm just now gonna commit myself fully to black mascaras in general. Then I have the Maybelline The Falsies Surreal Mascara. Ooh, I didn't love packaging wise that this has a rounded bottom because it made it harder to just like rest it. I always forget to do that and then it would topple and fall and whatever. But the wand of this, I like the effect of this. I find with Maybelline mascaras, the reason I end up liking them so much is because they do a good job providing volume and some length. They're not just volumizing mascaras. The way they design their wands, they tend to get a good bit of mascara on them so it can really help thicken up your lashes, which is my kind of jam without making it look like I only have 4 lashes. Like it just gives me that nice spider leg type effect, which I am into. Continuing on with my drugstore mascaras, I have an old school. I was super into this mascara when I was in high school, and I go through phases where I want to try it again, and it's not as good as I remember it being, probably because my preferences have changed and also makeup has evolved so much. But it's the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. Oh my gosh, this stuff was I was so into it, but it's not as good. The bristles are a little bit further apart than the other ones that I was showing you, so it doesn't give you as much of that clump and volume as I prefer. It does a nice job separating and volumizing, but it's not as voluminous as I prefer my mascaras to be. And then my last drugstore one that I have is this one from L'Oreal, which I know got a lot of controversy because of the Michaela TikTok snafu, but it's a good mascara. It's the Telescopic Lift. I actually really like the way this wand is designed because it really works like a comb. Like I really feel like I'm combing my lashes. It reminded me of an Avon mascara, an old school Avon mascara that I was using probably in like 2012, 2015 time, where it was basically shaped like it was a wider, it came out like this and the bristles went this way. If I can find a picture of it online, I'll insert it. For you to see, and you literally did like hold it this way and comb your lashes up. Oh my gosh, it had a bit of a learning curve, but it had such a strong impact on both lengthening and volumizing my lashes, and this totally achieves it. I would definitely want to repurchase this. It's the best out of all the ones I talked about. It's my favorite. I will say at the tail end of its life, it started to flake on me, which is disappointing, but it was so good. And it's one of the few times I've really liked L'Oreal mascara. I wouldn't say I get on too well with L'Oreal mascaras. I'm trying their new one that they just came out with for 2024, start of the spring season. I don't remember what it's called. It's in like a silvery packaging. It's also expensive. It's almost $20, which is so pricey for a mascara at the drugstore, but it's just okay. This I think is superior, and I will definitely repurchase it. Then I have two higher end mascaras. I have my Milk Kush mascara. So this I'm disappointed in. I picked this up because I got it from my mascara sampler set. I cashed in for this one, and the sample was so much better than this. This wand just gets super gunky. It's a lot of maintenance, almost like the stopper doesn't really work, and it's just not as impactful as the sample was. It's very sad because this is a very weighty, nice, and I enjoyed it as a sample, but full size, not my thing. And then I also used up the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. This is an interesting wand. It's got two sets of bristles. You see here you have more of that comb-like, and then the other side it's more of that hourglass shape. I liked this. I liked that I was able to use both sides. One helped with separation and one helped with clumping, which was a nice combo. I definitely think, because I got this, I think, as my birthday gift this year. I think it came with this and the little blush, if I'm remembering correctly. I definitely think I would be tempted to purchase this. If this had been in a mascara sampler, I probably would have cashed in my coupon for this one because it is a nice mascara. So it's on my radar. It's on my loves list. I might buy it sometime in the future. Ooh, now we're talking about eyes. Let's go ahead and talk eyeliners. I have 3 of the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Lash Enhancing Liquid Liner, all in the shade Matte Black. This is the only one I'm using right now. 3 seems like a lot, but when I apply liner every single day, 6-7 days a week, it does go pretty quickly. I do think this is a lovely dark black color, and I like the point of it. It's very easy to manipulate and apply to my eyes, so it's a good one. I keep going back to it. It replaced the one from Haus Labs when they rebranded and have not brought out a felt tip liner since. I think it was a great dupe for that one, so cheaper price tag anyways, which is very nice. Okay, we can talk some boring things that I have finished up that we're probably not surprised by. I have 3 of the e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaners, 1 jumbo size, which they don't make anymore, and 2 of the regular size ones. I'm gonna fly through these now. I used to get much more longevity when I had the bigger guy than these tiny ones, but it is what it is. We're working through it. This stuff is just the best. I keep my brushes nice and clean and nice and healthy. I only soap clean them once a week, but I do daily spray them and wipe them so that I can use the same brushes every day, even if I'm using different color combos than the previous day. So it's been awesome for that. And then I have 3 setting sprays. So the first one that I have is the POREfessional Super Setter. This is awesome. I definitely think this is a good one for me to have in the summer months when it's a bit more sticky out and makeup can kind of slip off my face. This is definitely good for holding it in place. I really enjoyed it. I think I paid half price for this during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. So I think I'll pay attention to it in the spring and see if it comes back around. If not, I'll probably just buy it during the Sephora VIB spring sale. And then I bought this one. This is the Wet n Wild No Bad Days Lilo and Stitch collaboration, which I got really into. This was cute. It was a good setting mist. It was good to give me some hydration or some kind of like zhuzh back into my skin for this time of year. And then I have this one from Trader Joe's. It's the Watermelon Facial Mist. This was just okay. I didn't particularly love it, so I ended up using it more as a wetter to wet my eyeshadow and then apply it to my eyes, which is my preferred way to apply eyeshadow on my lids these days. So it worked for that purpose, but wouldn't buy it again for that reason. I've got 3 primers that I've used up, or sorry, 4 primers, 2 eye and 2 face primers. So for eye primers, I have the Milani eyeshadow primer. This stuff is the best. Love this stuff. And then I switched gears and I was really interested in the Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow base. But man, oh man, I went through this stuff so quickly. There is 0.1 1/6 fluid ounces compared to 0.3. So it does literally have half the product. Now it's only, I think it's less than $5, whereas this is closer to, I want to say the $10 or $12 price range before I coupon it like I typically do, but I flew through it. It's a much thinner, almost like a watery type of texture, which it doesn't sound like a good texture, but it is a good primer. I just think this is superior. It lasts so much better. I need to use less of it to be able to prime both of my eyes, whereas where this stuff, because it's thinner, I was using more of it. So I wouldn't say the Essence one is bad, but this is still better, and it's also better price per usage, so I would stick with this one. For face primers, I have the Professional. I do like this one. I'm going through other primers right now, so I'm not going to rebuy it, but again, if it comes around closer to the summertime on 21 Days of Beauty from Sephora, or from Ulta or from Sephora, I would buy it again at a discounted price. This stuff is really good for my personal skin preferences. And then I also use the Ulta Beauty Poreless Face Primer. So this claims to be mineral oil and paraben free, but it's just like that slippy silicone texture, which I'm not really in love with, so I would not buy a full size of this. I have 2 cheek products, both of which are samples before you get too excited, that I used up. I have the Freck Beauty Cheek Slime, which I have to say is a really unappealing name of a product. But I don't know if I mixed these up or not, but I think this is the color Cuffed and the color Fielding. I liked both of these, and texturally I didn't mind them, but they are really pigmented, and I don't typically do well with super intensely pigmented products because I don't have the softest touch or the lightest hand. So especially with this shade, while it looked beautiful on my skin, a couple of days I almost had like a clown effect, and it's at that point in my makeup routine too late to go back and start over because it's one of the last things I do on my skin. So I didn't love it for that reason, but I'm definitely intrigued by this, and I don't even know what these cost, but I mean, I definitely liked them. I think they were an interesting product, but I don't know if I would be swayed to purchase it because it was so pigmented. I also have this Benefit Rich Berry Blush in the shade Moon. I actually really liked this color on my skin. I don't think I would have thought this would be a good color for me because it is pretty dark compared to my face, but I was able to use it for a pretty long time. They put a lot of powder onto these little cards, and it has me intrigued. I'm gonna add it to my loves list and pay attention to it. And I think if a sale comes around, or let's the Sephora VAB sale comes around, if I'm still into it, I probably would buy it. And I haven't felt compelled to buy a blush in quite some time, especially a powder blush. So I did enjoy this color, and I think it's definitely one that I don't have much of in my current collection. Oh, we'll do some more boring ones. I have 2 lip balms. I have the Jack Black Cherry and Pomegranate lip balm. This used to be a holy grail of mine, but I've kind of gotten away from squeeze tube lip balms. And then I have this Fiction Bath Company Sleepy Hollow. This came in an Owl Crate box 100 years ago. This is a vegan lip balm, and it was pumpkin spice flavor. It lasted me freaking forever. It rivaled the longevity of the Trader Joe's lip balm that I once had that lasted me almost a whole year. This lasted me, I think, a whole year in total. I mean, this was very long. Neither one of these are super special, but I mean, man, oh man, if you're looking for like a long term, you're gonna be with it for a while, I'd go to the Fiction Bath Company website because it really was a solid lip balm product. Ooh, we'll do our last few boring tool items that I have. I've got 2 of my go-to face sponges at the moment, and that would be the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. I'm just getting along pretty well with these. Essentially for me, I cut myself off with a sponge when I go to do a deep clean of it and I can't get all of the foundation coloring out. That tells me that at the core, it's not able to get deep enough to clean it out, so I just go ahead and part ways with it. So that's what happened here. And then I have these puffs that I got from Amazon, I think. That, again, same thing. I went to clean it and I couldn't get all of the under eye powder out of it, which I just have found it's been really helpful with a very light hand. I actually pick a little bit up on the sponge, the pat, whatever you call this, the poof, and I rub it on my hand, and then I go ahead and pat it like this, and that has helped really set my under eye concealer and not sink into my fine lines that I have under these areas. It's not foolproof. I mean, I do have some sinkage, but it's not as scary as it once was before I was using the puff. So I do like this, and I got a pretty reasonable, I think it was a 6 or a 10 pack of them. So I have quite a few. This is the first one that I've officially used up from that little set. And then lastly, Old Faithful. The Q-tip precision tips. These are the best for cleaning up my under eye area once I'm done with my eyeshadow look. I have a hard time finding them. I typically get them as a 3-pack on Amazon, and they're not the cheapest, but they are the best out of all the pointy cotton swabs that I've tried. The Q-tips brand is just superior. Let's talk complexion. I have 2 complexion products that I have finished up in the foundation category. I have my LA Girls Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigment in White. Sadly for me, it's very hard to find both the right tone and the right lightness of foundation. So I use this a lot. I apply it to a lot of foundations. It's a combination of, I'm terrible at color matching myself online, but also I do feel like a lot of ranges don't quite get neutral and pale enough. That combo seems to be pretty hard to achieve for me. So I went through one of these and I repurchased it, and I'm just steadily working through it. It's the best bang for your buck in the like pigment mixing lightening category that I have found. And then for foundation, I've used up this Il Makiage Woke Up Like This foundation, which they call it a flawless base foundation. To me, it's a foundation. I'm not currently wearing it because I'm out of it. The marketing of this is what sold me, because it is what I consider like an Instagram brand. They claimed that because they were only sold online, if you didn't get the right match, you'd be able to send it back at no cost to you and get a new one. They are legitimate on that. The first shade that I got through the quiz that I took was not a good match for me. So I then sent it back in and they gave me a new one based off of talking to somebody on the customer service. And so I got 010, and it is a perfect match for my skin, which is so lovely. My only real big complaint, and might deter me from buying this again, was the pump is pretty awful. I really only got about 1/3 of the way in before the pump just stopped working for me. And at first I thought it was because I was keeping it in a drawer, so it was being stored like this. But then when I kept it fully upright, it still wasn't pumping out. So a majority of its life, I had it upside down and I was kind of scraping a little bit out to use. That's partly why I managed to finish it off, because I was just like, well, I'm tired of mixing. I was about halfway through my House Labs one that I've been mixing with my pigment. I was like, I'm tired of mixing in the morning. This is the perfect match for me, and the packaging kind of stinks. So let me just go ahead and go through this. I'm now working on something else that I like too, but I don't know. I'm thinking about buying it again if I ever kind of can get through a number of my foundations, but that pump problem is a big deterrent for me. I'm just somebody who doesn't want to put a lot of work into getting a product out of a package. I'm very particular in that way. More complexion products. I have my 2 favorite concealers that I managed to finish up. I have another one of the Revlon Photo Ready concealer. This is a great stick concealer. It's a perfect match for my skin, which is shade 001 Fair. I typically use this to help combat redness. Right now with my pregnancy, I have a little bit of melasma that I'm helping to cover up. You can kind of see it right here on my face because I'm wearing a very light coverage foundation. You can see it a little bit here. I've got a little bit up on this side of my face, that like highlighter and blush might be blocking out for you. But I apply it over there. It's great for blemishes. That was just awesome, and it's a really good price point. It's very easy to use as well, being in a stick format. I've gone through, this could be my 4th or 5th one, and I keep rebuying it. I have no interest in trying something else because this is doing all the things I want. And then for under eye, I've been doing the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. And again, the shade 110, which I think is Fair. Maybe. I could be lying to you. This stuff is great. I keep going through it. It's been like many years of repurchasing it. It's just the best. It's a good match for me as well. So I do like it. And then the final makeup item I'm very excited about. It is a bronzer. I have used up the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade, Feelin' Shady. Look at all this. Yeah, that is so satisfying. This, I'm pretty sure this shade is meant to be, maybe more of a contour, I don't know, but it was lovely. I'm actually trying to use my ColourPop one that I have in a pot right now that is like their oh, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the bouncy version, not the actual powder. It's not as good as this one. I want to rebuy this one, but I'm like, no, use this ColourPop one first, even though I probably have many months worth of time left. But this stuff is great. It's a nice formula. It's a good color match for me. I think it's more what people would consider a contour color, but I just tend to prefer that in general with my more neutral leaning undertone. So this stuff was lovely. Very proud of myself for using it up. It's a big accomplishment, and I've been working on it for quite some time. It's been my go-to for many months. All right, so there you have it. Those are the multitude of makeup items that I have finished up over the last 3 months, which feels very good as I end the 2023 year. I'm so looking forward to rounding up all the makeup empties for the entire year and seeing how many products I've actually used up over the course of the entire year. So hopefully you stay tuned for that video. And as always, thank you for being here. I'll talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye.